Hey everybody, we are going to be talking about the law of cosines today. Don't be breaking this law. You'll have all kinds of headaches in your trig classes or your advanced math or whatever else you're doing, pre-calc. But the law of cosines, if you look it up on the internet or look it up in your book, you're probably going to see these three formulas right here. We can make it simple. Math people usually don't want to do that. That's why they use the three, but we can use this one formula over to the right as long as you understand that the sides and the angles are interchangeable. So if whatever you're solving for, whether it be a side or an angle, is the thing that goes either in the front spot, where you see the little d, or it can go in the back spot, which is where you'll see the big D, right there and right over here. Okay, those are what we're solving for. We're going to solve for one of those two things and we're going to have the other pieces. Okay, so if we're solving for a side, it goes there. If we're solving for an angle, that will be your variable. One of those two will be a variable. The other ones we're going to plug in because we're going to have the information. We're either going to be given all three sides, little d, little e, little f, or we're going to be given two sides and an angle, e, little f, and then big D. So you have side, 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 or side, angle, side. That's when you use the law of cosines. You can try to use the law of sines all you want. It won't work. So here's a situation where we have side, side, side. 10, 12, and 13. Triangle EAT. So if you notice the little strategy note there, you should always look to find the largest angle first using the law of cosines, because then you can use the law of sines. You don't have to worry about any of them being obtuse. Law of sines will only give you acute angles. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, we're going to find big E. We're going to find the big E because that's the biggest angle. So we set it up. Little e squared equals a squared plus t squared minus 2at cosine of E. What we're solving for is big E. We know little e, it's 13. We know little a, that's 10. We know little t, that's 12. Come on, 12. There you go, there's 12. Minus 2 times 10 times 12 times the cosine of E. So we only have the one variable, that's the angle E, the big E. We're going to solve for that. We're going to isolate that variable. So the first thing we're going to do is square those numbers. 169 is going to equal 100 plus 144 minus 2 times 10 times 12, I believe that's 240 cosine of E. Then we're going to go ahead and combine our like terms on the one side and get 169 equals 244 minus 240 cosine of E. Now the temptation here is to take 244 and subtract 240, and that is a trap. That is, I'm telling you, that is a mistake that many people fall into. Don't do that. Order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You're going to have to multiply the 240 times the cosine of E before you could subtract it from 244. So we can't do that. What we're going to do actually is subtract 244 from both sides and get rid of it. We're trying to isolate E. So we subtract 244 from both sides, we end up with negative 75. And then we're going to divide both sides by negative 240. So we end up with the cosine of E equals 75 over 240. Inverse cosine both sides to get E all by itself. And when you inverse cosine that fraction, I believe it comes out to be, oh come on, calculator, go a little faster. You're killing me here. Surely it can't take that long to figure that out. Apparently it does take that long. And don't call me Shirley. Okay, here we go. 71.8 degrees. There we go. 71.8 degrees is angle E. Now you can use the law of sines to find another angle and then take those two and add them together and subtract from 180. You got the whole triangle. All right, now what about when you have side, angle, side? Okay, you have no option to begin with. There's only one thing you can find, and that's side T. By the way, A disappeared. I don't know what happened to A. We'll have to bring it back here maybe later. It's supposed to be down in the bottom right corner. So here we go. We're going to solve for side T, and it's going to be E squared plus A squared minus 2 times E times A times the cosine of 52. Using our formula, just plugging in the numbers. Now, if you look at this one, the variable's already isolated. It's squared, but it's already isolated. So you can take that 13 squared plus 10 squared minus 2 times 13 times 10 times the cosine of 52, punch it in your calculator just like you see it, and find out what t squared is. Now remember, it's t squared. It came out to be approximately 109. You don't round that number until you're finished. Go ahead and square root it, and you end up with 10.436855. Now, depending on how your teacher wants you to round, significant digits, sig figs, whatever they call it, you round it appropriately and do what they ask you to do from there. That's about it. I hope you have. Oh, wait a minute. Must be something else. What are we supposed to find? Find what? Find what? Oh. If you look up above, it says make sure that you find the smaller angle. So we are going to have to find the angle A next. Find angle A, because if you find angle E, it might be obtuse, so the law of sines would give you the wrong angle. So make sure that you go in the right order and find angle A, which you know has to be acute. And then you've got this done.